Right, good evening, everyone. I hope, beyond all hope, that you can hear me. It's not my fault. I've been making a video all day, and I'm afraid that stupid does appear to be contagious. So I'm going to pass you over to Conspiracy Catz, and he will explain to you why there's no debate and what we're going to do tonight. Yeah, we may as well. We may as well. A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Shout out to Sir Sick in the side chat as well. Oh, hang on a sec, everyone. Right, I know why. 2 seconds. Right, 2 seconds. Oh, for the love of... Just talk amongst yourselves, everyone. We will figure it out eventually. We should be ready to start around our usual finishing time. So, right, say something now, Catz, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Boom.
Ah, yes. The audio meter bounced. Speak away.
So does that mean we're here? Oh, and I was saying big shout out to Alan B in the chat, not seen it for a while, and Sir Sick. Yeah, I was just saying that, like, I was a massive fan of Sir Sick's channel long before I started Conspiracy Catz, long before I even dreamed of having my own YouTube channel. I was a Sir Sick fan, so it's brilliant to see him in the chat. Big fan. I don't think he lives too far from me either. Anyway, what were we saying? I'm gonna have to do the same joke again now.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah. I'll laugh on cue. So fire away.
Pretend. Like,
yeah.
So, would you like me to start from the beginning, Creaky?
Yeah, start from the beginning, Mr. Catz, and I will laugh on cue.
Okay. Well, from the beginning, a long, long time ago, my mummy and daddy were very much in love, and then 9 months later, I was born. Have I gone back too far there, Creaky?
No, that's perfect.
Oh, my word.
Sorry, I forgot I promised to laugh.
Oh, brilliant. Sorry. Right, yeah. Well, I just want to address something. Some people are asking in the chat about the Baldy Catz video that I put up this morning. I put up a Baldy Catz video this morning, and it got, even though it was monetized to start with, it got demonetized about half an hour in. And I don't make a lot of videos. You know, it's not about the money, but just out of principle, I had to take it down to have it reviewed because I did not believe it deserved demonetizing. So if you're asking where the Baldy Catz video is, it wasn't flagged or anything like that. I took it down just for the review. So yeah, we're here because we were meant to be having a debate tonight with a guy called Draft Science, and it was supposed to be me debating him on the topic of the single slit and double slit experiment. So Draft Science is a channel who has essentially created his own brand of physics. He will do debunking videos on people like Brian Cox, Jim Al-Khalili, Professor Michio Kaku, Richard Feynman, etc. He will debunk sort of like the scientific greats. He'll debunk Einstein, Newton, whatever. And he challenged me and he pestered me for months and months and months or at least weeks and weeks and weeks to have a debate with him on the double slit experiment because he has an alternative view and whatever. But some of you, and I can see you in the chat now, I'm not going to name anybody, but some of you in the chat tipped me off to some particular, and we've got to be careful how we phrase this, have we, Creaky?
Oh, sorry, I zoned out then.
I'm going to see effect I have on people.
No, sorry, I was watching the side chat. Sorry. Did you ask me a question?
Well, yeah, I was just saying, we've got to be careful how we phrase his beliefs, do you think, without turning it into an accusation? How are we going to phrase this?
Well, based on the fact that I've been sent a video confirming it, I really don't think we need to, but it's your channel as well as mine, so if you would rather not call him what he is, I'm happy to go along with you.
Well, I will link a video in the chat later on, but essentially I was sent, a number of you who are in the chat now sent me some messages saying that he may hold a set of particular beliefs which would damage the reputation of this channel if we allowed him on. And when I approached him about that in private through email, just to keep it out of the public eye, he didn't deny those allegations whatsoever and became quite aggressive in his responses. And ultimately, the beliefs that he may or may not have that he wasn't able to deny are the reasons he's not allowed on this channel. Because I wouldn't knowingly have somebody who perhaps doesn't agree. Let's just say he doesn't agree with history in the same way that most people should, in a tasteful fashion. That's what I think. Is that a good way of phrasing it, Creaky?
Yeah. He's basically denying a historical event that only an idiot would deny because it affected so many people.
It did. Lots and lots of people. And there are videos out there, etc. But I'm not going to make any allegations. You know, all I did was, and I think what upset him was that some of you told me what these beliefs were, and I contacted him absolutely 100% in private to address these. And what he decided was that, I don't know, that I needed to provide proof that he was what people were saying he was. Which, you know, someone had emailed me and said, listen, Catz, you're due to come on my channel soon, but somebody says, you know, you've said this in the past, you've done this, can we just clarify it? I'd have just said, no, I didn't do it. Or, no, that's not my belief. That's not the answer I got. I got a very round the houses kind of answer. So, you know, you can drop over to his channel now. He's taking it like a man, wouldn't you say, Creaky?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'm sure there's a more eloquent way to put it, but he certainly protested a little bit more than somebody who had nothing to hide would have.
I think so. Now, we have, therefore, we have a slot tonight. I've emailed Creaky a couple of PowerPoints. If there are any flat earthers, and I did post this on the Conspiracy Catz community tab early on this afternoon. But if there are any flat earthers or anyone in the chat that wants to come on and have a little debate or discussion about creationism or flat earth, feel free to come on and we'll have a nice cozy chat. You know, we know what it's like on this channel. It's always very civil. No screaming, shouting, no dumpster fires or anything like that. So we'll see. Just tag in either, well, I'm on agree to disagree. So if you tag that in, I'll see it. What are you signed in as, Creaky?
I'm signed in as Creaky Blinder, so you can tag me as well if anybody wants to jump on and debate.
Yeah, I think so. So until then, what have you been up to on your channel, Creak?
I tell you something that's definitely worth mentioning, because I can see Sir Sick mentioning it in the side chat, is that the YouTube algorithm is a little bit all over the shop at the minute. Now, I know Sir Sick just said something very similar. I spoke to Fight the Flat Earth last night, and apparently, and I did say this in today's video, so if you've already seen that, you will have heard me say it, and I apologize. And if you haven't already seen today's video, well, you suck. But basically what's going on is that YouTube have been rejigging the algorithm, and they have reset every single user's notifications to back to default. So if you had the bell notifications turned on for my channel, this channel, or Conspiracy Catz channel, and you had selected to be notified for all videos, that's been changed. So they now have changed all to preferred, I believe it is. I'm giving you this information, although I couldn't be asked to look myself, but I will. So apparently, if you do want to continue to be notified about videos from the creators you like, and by that I mean me, because I'm special, or at least that's what my wife tells me. I'm not sure if she means it as a compliment or not, but you will need to go back in and ring my bell again. And be gentle, because I'm getting on.
Is it shiny?
Not as shiny as it used to be.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because for the half hour that I had my video, for the half hour that I did have my video out this morning, I noticed a massive drop in views. I normally get between 2,500 and 3,000 views in the first hour of a video, and in the half hour it was up. I think it picked up maybe 700 views, something like that. So you know, I noticed it was way down. So that is interesting. That. But
yeah,
then again,
like I say, I don't know 100% for a fact that is the problem, but it does seem to fit in with what I'm seeing on my channel, which is a massive drop off in views. Either that, or everybody hates me now.
I can see Radical, the Unhallowed Knight, is in there. We should have like a Radical versus Sir Sick debate on who's got the best
Get
knight
in,
in front of a castle.
Who's got the shiniest helmet?
Yeah, I mean, look, Raj, Sir Sick, if you want to come in and just during the chat, have a chat with us for a bit, or shill your channels out, or whatever. If you email agreetodisagree@gmail.com, I'm sure we can get you on and have a chat if you fancy.
Oh, the old squad's here now, Catz. My dad is in the side chat as well. Hi, Dad, otherwise known as Mr. Sensible.
Hey, Mr. Sensible, yeah. I think I've got him. I'll not mention anything about it, but I think I've got him coming on my channel next week. That's all I will say at the minute. So yeah, if anybody, like I say, if we can't line a debate up, if nobody knows anybody that's happy to come in the chat and step up, normally we get a few flat earthers in here, don't we?
Yeah, we do, and obviously sod's law for the purpose tonight. When we wanted somebody in the side chat, there isn't anybody.
Yeah, it is a shame. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of emails and questions about the whole draft science debate thing. So at least we've had a chance to clear that up a little bit, which, it is what it is. It's a shame. But I mean, at the end of the day, but the thing that got me, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, somebody posted and said that I'd orchestrated the whole thing to get out of the debate, and I personally think that debating somebody who thinks that all of the scientists and all of the physics in the world is wrong, would be even easier than debating a flat earther. Somebody who has no experimental evidence, no papers, no citations, other than saying, yeah, I don't believe physics has got the correct explanation for anything. I think it will be a walk in the park. So
the thing is, as far as I can see, he's just a self-proclaimed expert. All he's done is made up his own version of physics, so that makes him the world leader in his particular field, which just happens to be completely ridiculous.
Oh, he's done that, and he's got a website where he explains his understanding of physics or his version of physics, and it is just a completely made-up physics.
And if you'd like to visit his website, it's imadickhead.com. Don't forget the 3 W's, obviously. But yeah, I did see that web. When you sent me that video and I clicked on it, my first thought was, Jesus, Brian May has let himself go. Wouldn't he get a haircut, the scruffy get?
But apart from that, I quite like him. Let's see. Is there anybody that will turn up? And because otherwise, it's not going to be a full-length stream tonight. It'll be just a bit of a chat. But is there anyone?
It's easy to keep talking about nothing for 2 hours.
Mate, you
I
see,
do it every
so
Sunday.
I'm going to say you're so good at it. I haven't got a clue. I haven't,
I haven't got a clue either. And maybe that's why I can keep babbling complete tosh for 2 hours.
Just saying, what did Sir Sick say about his views? Did he just say...
Yeah. He usually gets about 2,000. He's down to 1,200.
And, I mean, it is quite significant, that, isn't it? It's quite a significant drop.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then I've seen it
it's quite a worry as well, right? So, say for example, now, if you were, obviously, I know it's different for all of us, but I'm trying to make this my full-time job, and I'm getting close, I'm heading in the right direction. But imagine if you got a new job tomorrow, stacking shelves in Asda, but every morning when you got up, you had to check if your job was still there. That's kind of what YouTube is like. Yeah. So it's not quite as glamorous and as fun and games as people seem to think.
No, it's not, and it's one of the reasons why. I mean, I'm trying to take the other route. I don't produce enough content anyway but I have sort of my business, and then the YouTube is it's a hobby on the side. But to be fair, it does generate some nice little pocket money. But I don't want to take it further than I have, other than what I'm already doing. Yeah. Because of that. Well, what if YouTube algorithm changes and suddenly I'm stripped of it, or what if to some kind of community guideline strike that I'm not aware of, or someone hacks my account, and it's quite a.
Yeah, exactly. There we are. Radical is saying in the side chat now his videos tend to hover around 1.2 to 1.5k instead of the usual 2.5k. So I think it's affecting everybody. And I actually answered a community post today from a channel with nearly 2 million subscribers in the vain hope that he would notice me and like me, but he never replied.
Oh,
I know.
Must be ignorant.
It's disgusting. But he's experiencing exactly the same thing. But whereas we've lost, say, I generally get around 2,000 views in the first hour. That's kind of my benchmark. And I'm down to about, well, probably about the same as Sir Sick, down to about 1,200 views in the first hour. You know, so this channel usually would get sort of, I think the figure he said was about 50 to 60,000 in the first hour, and he's down to about 25,000. So a bigger channel like that, it's hit him much more significantly than it's hit us. But it is relative, isn't it? You know, the size of the channel, the audience, and whatnot.
It definitely is. I tell you what I have noticed though lately is, I mean, we've talked offline a few times about the algorithm, and I've shown you stats of sometimes a video just maybe 24 hours or 20 hours after being released getting a massive second kick and getting picked back up again. You know, I've seen a lot more of that. So over maybe a week, some of my videos will actually still be underperforming, but I'm getting more that are getting that like second kick afterwards. It's almost like YouTube are kind of like vetting the videos. What's the engagement like in that first 20 hours, and then all right, we'll push this one, and the others will let go to waste.
Yeah. But what I found though, even though, like I say, my views are massively down in the first, you know, the first hour, then the first 24 hours, you know, my benchmarks are 2,000 in the first hour, then it starts to slow down a bit from the initial launch. And then I generally like to see 10,000 at least in the first 24 hours. And I've not been seeing that. I've been seeing about between sort of 5.5 and 7.5 in the first 24 hours. But they are catching up over time. So I don't know if it's just YouTubers sharing, you know, pushing our videos out in a different way. And that's why, even though the videos are leveling out at roughly the same views they generally would get, they're not getting there as quickly. And apparently view velocity, as they call it, is quite an important metric that YouTube looks at when deciding whose videos to push and who's not to push.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the fact that you say that it does even out over time makes you think that perhaps they are spreading out the notification, but it would be interesting to see whether the subscriber to non-subscriber ratio has changed, because if it hasn't, then they must just be rolling out the notification.
Yeah, that's an interesting one actually, and I'd not thought of that.
For long, will be interesting. But I'm buffering a little bit.
Yeah, I thought you'd gone then.
My internet connection is unstable. What could that be? Let me do a quick speed test. We had the engineer in this week, and he did a great job of fixing it. We fixed it in every room in the house apart from this room. And he managed to reset it.
Neil Sullivan is saying in the side chat, 3-month lockdown view fest. Yeah, that's more than likely a part of it. People were binge watching things because they had nothing better to do. And Seek Truth Speak Truth said that he generally gets he sometimes will get a notification for my videos 3 days after I actually upload, which isn't really the idea of notifications. But the thing is as well, I've noticed that if you look in your analytics, there's actually a section there where it tells you how many people have notifications turned on. And believe it or not, if you look at your channel, you'll be absolutely amazed how low that number is. But what it usually is, it's not that they've not hit the bell, because they have. But if they only consume your content on a mobile device and they haven't allowed notifications from the YouTube app on their mobile device, it doesn't matter if they've rung the bell, because they still won't get the notifications anyway. And I'm not entirely sure that everybody understands that part of it. As well as hitting the bell, you have to allow your device to accept the notifications as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I was just reading the chat there, and Luke Mitchell has said, check your Wi-Fi frequency band, which I'm sure is fantastic advice. If I knew what it meant. If I knew what that meant, that would be fantastic advice. I'll have to maybe ask you maybe by email what that means, because I haven't got a clue, I'm afraid. But the internet's great everywhere else in the house, just not here.
Are you Wi-Fi Catz, you? Because I had to run an Ethernet cable Like I bought a 30-meter Ethernet cable because I just couldn't stream with Wi-Fi. You know, and I'm not that far from the router, but it just wasn't giving me enough bandwidth to be able to live stream, especially if I would have been using Zoom. I would never have been able to do it.
Well, that you probably can't see because it's dark. That little blue light there is the BT disc. You know, you can buy the extension discs. And I've got an Ethernet cable running from that around my desk into the back of the computer. I've got an Ethernet cable basically coming out of that into the back of the computer.
Yeah.
But it's the same in this room. Whether I don't think I think that's too far away because this is the east wing of the house, and we've got the router in the west wing, Creaky, and I think that is too far away. So I'm wondering whether they need another one.
Well, I'm posh as well. I'm upstairs, and my router is downstairs because that's how we roll in Wales.
Well, hey mate, why not?
Why not? Indeed. Why not? Indeed.
I've seen a few comments in the chat regarding Dell's channel, which I think he's currently got set to private, hasn't he?
Oh, has he? He hasn't finally come to his senses, has he?
Well, to be truth is in the chat. Actually, he's just released a video, which is worth watching, where he comments on it. And if you don't know, Seek Truth, Speak Truth, it's definitely a channel that's well worth going over and checking out. And a few other people have mentioned it to me, but to be honest, he's done this before, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was just reorganizing his channel. You know, he has done it before because you can hide it while you take videos off you don't want, put new ones, and he's done it at least once, if not twice, in the time I've been here. So I don't know. It would be nice if sort of he'd realised, come to his senses a little bit, but I think time will tell. I think we'll see him back.
Everyone in the side chat now was addressing me and my internet issues. I don't have any internet issues. The issues I have in my live streams are because I'm not very good at doing it. But it's actually Catz who seems to be having some sort of internet issue tonight. But I do appreciate the kind advice. I've got an Ethernet cable running directly from my router to the back of my PC, so I am directly connected to my router. I'm not using any Wi-Fi or any, twigs and stuff like that. It's an actual cable.
Well, I'm just running a speed check while we speak, and it's not electric by any stretch, but it should be able to cope with the call. I'm on 25 download and about 6 upload. It's never much faster.
That's more than adequate for what we are doing.
It should be, but it keeps dropping. For some reason, in this room, it will keep dropping down to as low as like 1 or 2. Really? And I can't figure out. The only thing I can think of is that disc there. For some reason, my computer's switching between that disc and the router downstairs, which is too far away. So I don't get it. Even with an Ethernet cable.
It wasn't ideal running the cables because Mrs. Blinder definitely doesn't like it because it's like everywhere. Up the hallway, across the ceiling in the hallway, then up the staircase, then up the wall, across the ceiling. It's not the best job in the world. But my theory is I don't look at the ceiling, so why would I care? But Mrs. Blinder seems to.
Well, let's see the chat. Chat. I want to see the best questions that they can come up with for Mr. Creaky Blinder. I think tag me in.
Ask me some questions.
And what's the debate about? So Neil Sullivan's just trapped. Just to recap, we were supposed to be having a debate tonight. We unfortunately had to cancel it due to the other guy
being a dick.
Being very difficult to deal with is what I'll say. So so there we go. Why are you Welsh?
Sir Six asking why I'm Welsh. Well, the honest answer is because I was born in Wales, and my parents are. Well, my mother's 100% Welsh, but my dad's actually half Geordie. I'm not sure if it's the top half or the bottom half, but so does that make me, if I want to get pedantic about it, three quarters Welsh and a quarter English? Oh God, I was sick in my mouth a little bit then when I said that.
Depends which part of your body's English.
Probably the bits below my waist that are failing with old age.
Stephen Steen's got one for you, Creaky. Why is your channel so much better than Catz?
because I've got more time available to make videos, and I don't think it is anyway. What people need to remember is Catz is giving actually valuable information, whereas I just look at people and laugh at them.
You know, I don't think I really like the production quality in yours. It's very slick, very perfect. Like all this technological stuff you're doing now with things flying across the screen and like how it looks. I mean, well, we saw last week when I was left to my own devices. When I accidentally went live at the beginning.
The thing is, I don't know, you know, of the people in the side chat that are familiar with it, but there's this thing called the internet, and it's so easy to find things out. You can even find out how to live stream badly, which is clearly what I did. Damien W wants to know why I picked the name Creaky Blinder. I won't give my usual response, which is, I wish people would stop asking me that, because he's probably never asked me before. But anyway, it's because I was a big fan of the show, the Creaky Blinder, of the Peaky Blinders TV show. And somebody I know who lives locally, I sort of know him mainly via Instagram, and then I became friendly with him in real life. He was called 51 Shades of Grey on Instagram, and I thought, that's really cool. I wish I was clever enough to come up with something like that. And then we were watching the Peaky Blinders, and something was said about I'm too old to be peaky, so I would be creaky. And I went, Creaky Blinder. I'll have a bit of that. And I thought it was bang tidy, so I just went with it. And to be honest, I'm a bit sorry I chose that name now, because everyone calls me creaky and makes me feel even older than I look.
I love it. It's a great name.
I would have rather been something cool, like Sir something, or the Unhallowed something.
I still love, like, we should have like a battle between those two.
A night off.
We should, yeah, some sort of night. That'd be great. Clive Wells, did we enjoy Thunderfoot? Have you seen Thunderfoot destroying Nathan Oakley?
I've not watched it, to be honest, no.
Brilliant. Absolutely. Thunderfoot is hands down one of my favorite channels on YouTube. I keep saying, it's like I'm saying everybody is tonight, but you know, there are a lot of you out there who are good. Thunderfoot is he's a proper actual professor, isn't he? And his videos are superb. But just the disdain that he treats Nathan Oakley with, yeah, I think deserves a medal.
That's the thing, see, you know, with flat earthers, and I say this frequently in my videos, but I wouldn't say I hate flat earthers. I've just got zero respect for somebody that just makes stuff up to suit what they're talking about. And they would argue that that's exactly what we do, but that's because what we talk about is actually based in reality and not sort of a fantasy that bounces around inside our heads.
They do make stuff up. Like I was having a conversation on Nathan Oakley's stream yesterday when I went to advertise this channel on his stream, which he didn't like. I got banned in the end. But one of the flat earthers was obviously being very pleasant towards me and was trying to challenge me to sort of prove the Earth is a globe. And I simply said to him, what is it about the scientific papers you've read that you think means we're not a globe? What are the faults in all the science that you've read and learned that lead you to believe that the globe isn't real? And obviously, they hadn't read any scientific papers, and they hadn't read it, you know. And their answer was, "That wasn't my question," you know. And I think the point is, you're right. They do just make stuff up. They've clearly not researched anything. They clearly don't understand anything. They quote what other people, what they hear other flat earthers say on the internet, and then they just make the rest up.
Yeah, because what I found, you know, I've not been doing this quite as long as you, but what I found in the time I've been making videos about flat earthers is that you can kind of, if you come across a new flat earther, like for example, the girl I made a video about last Friday, you could tell that all her information regarding the flat earth and other the other conspiracies she spoke about, all her information had come from Shane Dawson. Yeah. Because I made a video on Shane Dawson about 18 months ago, and it was basically like a remake of the Shane Dawson video, because she was just repeating what Shane Dawson had said in his Flat Earth video. And I've seen that many times. You can tell, oh, this guy watches Nathan Oakley, this guy watches D Marble, and it shows.
Yeah, it does, and I get that in my comment section. And right now, the big comment I get a lot is the horizon geometric or apparent, or show me an equation for curvature that includes an equation for perspective. And I'll say to them, what does that mean? Like, what does? And of course, you don't get an answer.
There was a good question. Don't know because they're parroting things that they've heard.
Asking for an equation for curvature that includes an equation for perspective is like asking for an equation to calculate the speed of a car that includes an equation for the resistance of a wire. It's just, it's apples and oranges. It's ridiculous. Yeah. JL Truth had a question for you, though, and it was what made you, it's to both of us, I think, what made you want to start your channel?
Simon Dan, because I love him and I want to have his babies.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
No, it was Simon Dan, genuinely. So basically, I had started this channel and I knew I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. So I joined a group on Facebook called the Tube Ritual Group. And it's basically kind of how to grow a YouTube channel and how to be able to maintain it over a long period of time and tips and tricks and all this kind of stuff. And one of the other members put a post in the Facebook group saying, oh, you should see this guy Simon Dan. He makes videos making fun of flat earthers, and I can't believe how quickly he's growing. Now, that was just after the gate video. And I jumped over to his channel, and the first video I found, you were in it with him, and I thought at first that you were Simon Dan, because obviously I didn't know who either of you were. And then I clicked on another video, and I was like, he's not in it. Oh, right, well, clearly this one is Simon Dan now, not the shiny-headed one. And I started watching him, and then I thought, oh, well, who was that guy then? I looked for you, and it just kind of snowballed from there. So I was watching all your videos and thinking, oh, my God, I wish I was smart enough to talk like this and make videos like this. And then I thought, well, actually, I may not be a science guy, but I'm a semi-professional piss taker, so I'll give that a crack and see what happens. So I literally typed Flat Earth into YouTube, and I came across a Nathan Thompson video. I didn't know who he was. He was just some nut job as far as I was concerned. And I made the video. I uploaded it. And I got up the next morning then, and I thought, I'll have a look now, see how that video was doing. And it had thousands of views and like well over 1,000 dislikes. And I thought, I've blown it. This is going to ruin my chances and this, that, and the other. And I thought, well, I'll make another one and see what happens. So I did. But what had happened is Nathan Thompson, he must Google his name when he wakes up every day, because he found the video and shared it in the world's biggest flat earth group on Facebook. And obviously all his minions came over and attacked me. And I thought, well, this could potentially be fun.
Yeah.
And kind of that. So I suppose the reason I make videos now is because I discovered Simon Dan and you, and Nathan Thompson inspired me to make another one by trying to discourage me.
That's a good story, mate.
It's the truth. Yeah. It's the truth. And that's exactly why I do what I do now. And, I just sort of rethought what I watched Dan and you do and thought, how could I tackle the same thing, but in the way I can tackle it? And that's what I do now. I
think everybody's got their own style, haven't they? Everybody's got their own way of doing it, which is good. Plenty of variety. I mean, like, there's a few content creators in the chat as well, and everybody's got their own unique. I don't think anybody sort of copies anybody else's style.
The thing is, what I find is, like, for example, let's say, because I don't know if he's still in the side chat, but if I've watched, say, one of Sir Six videos, because I just find him funny.
Yeah.
And I'll be making a video, say, because I get up in the morning, while I'm having my coffee, I'll watch a couple of YouTube videos. And then let's say I come upstairs, sit at the PC to start making my video. I may say something, and then I kind of watch the clip back, and I think, oh my God, people are just going to think you've copied Sir Sick. So then I don't include it, because I try not to copy anyone. But I watch quite a variety of content on YouTube, and a number of times, you know, Callum, my son, Lord Callum, who's got a channel as well, he said to me, oh, I can tell you've been watching Leon Lush, or I can tell you've been watching I'm Alex, because I think sometimes you can unintentionally mimic something that you've seen somebody else do that you thought was good.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Sometimes things hang around in your subconscious, and you have an idea. And
yeah.
But we've got to see if there's any other questions for you.
We've got Team Skeptic in the house.
Hey, team! In fact, I promised Team I was going to send him a little clip to finish off something else I did for him, and that's a cracking reminder. Team Skeptic, if you're there, I will do that tomorrow for you, unless I'm too late. Have I screwed up on that? We'll see what he says there. But yeah, so it doesn't appear that any flat earthers are, going to be flying in. Feel free to tweet it out, anybody. See if anyone wants to come for the last half of the show. But so that's as well. I was on Nathan Oakley's stream yesterday for the entire stream, start to finish, before Perry Mason banned me, and it's my new name for him now.
What, the actual Perry Mason, or
it's Sleeping Warrior? Those in the know. I think obviously we all know, but yeah, that's my new name for Sleeping Warrior now. He shall from this point forward be known as Perry Mason. Yeah, he banned me, and but literally when I went in there, the amount of, you know what it's like, you go into a channel, you say hello, and then the amount of people who come to you and say, oh, prove the globe to me, or you don't know, you can't prove the earth isn't flat, you can't prove, and you just say, well, okay, well, there's a debate slot open tomorrow night on the show, why don't you come on and put it to me live then? Not one person followed up on it.
It's easy to feel that you're right and to claim that you're right when you're in your own echo chamber, though, isn't it? When you've got all your minions around you egging you on. But it's difficult for them to be as brave, and I know a lot do, but it's difficult for some of them to be brave enough to debate somebody who knows what they're talking about. Well,
that's it. A lot of them are there, like we said before, because they've heard catchphrases, they've heard things like gas pressure next to a vacuum or whatever. And they just use those catchphrases in the chat, and that's enough for them. But when actually asked to explain, well, go on then, what causes gas pressure? Really, what is it? What is it about the pressure gradient and the Boltzmann equation and how that explains it that confuses you? And then immediately, they're out the depth.
It's because they don't know, and I've said this again in plenty of videos because I'm always careful to point this out, right? A lot of these flat earthers, like we'll use Anthony Riley as an example, because I think I've said to you before when we've talked privately that he's very eloquent, and to somebody who didn't know better, he would sound very convincing. But when the chips are thrown down and he's challenged, can he explain his side of the argument in a plausible way? And I don't think he can, regardless of how eloquent I may think he sounds. To you, who has the knowledge of physics and the things he's talking about, you probably think he sounds like a complete idiot. And this is what I mean, see, and this is why I always say, and that's why I don't pretend to know about things that I don't. Because remember a few weeks back, I asked you for some information about a video I was making, and just for the joke, I included a couple of seconds of the video you'd sent me on WhatsApp explaining it to me.
I remember that. Yeah.
I did that specifically for that reason, because I don't want to be labeled as doing the same thing that they do, which is pretending I have knowledge about things that I clearly don't. And I'm more than comfortable to say that in front of however many people are watching. I'm not a physics guy, and do you know what I mean? It's why you pretend you are. It just makes you look like an idiot.
The thing is, there's so many different fields of science that the argument can go down. It can go down geology, geophysics, astronomy, climate, meteorology, optics. There's so many different fields that even sort of like the experts, like your Professor Phil Bells and your PhD Tonys, who are absolute experts, well, they wouldn't proclaim to have the knowledge in all of those different fields. So we're always going to come across stuff that we don't know about, and we have to either properly research it, ask someone who really knows, or just admit we don't know it, always.
Yeah.
But that's in response, what the flat earthers will do is just ignore it, because it's all right for the flat earthers to say, I don't know, because they like that. That's the new thing now, isn't it? The new thing for them is to say, we haven't got a model. We are happy to explain we don't know what that big yellow thing in the sky is that's burnt my eyes out every time I look at it. We don't know what that is, and that's fine. It's almost like a badge of honor for them to have that ignorance for some of them.
Yeah, it's become a new weapon for them, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it has, and ultimately, it's come from the point that if they ever try and explain what something is or what causes something, it's debunked. Like, it's about as useful as a rice paper condom, any kind of explanation they can give, because it just falls apart.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't seem to care. But I still defend my position as being, we'll use Mark Sargent, for example. He doesn't really believe the Earth is flat.
No.
But it's become a cash cow for him, isn't it? It's how he earns his living. So he's never going to come out and say, actually, I was only teasing. I knew it was a globe all along. Because he's not going to want to lose his source of income. So
the things he says is so outlandish. Like, when he does his speeches or when he's on TV doing the interviews, he'll often say, I had these 5 questions which I sent, and no professional physicist could answer the question. And when you look at the question, it's like, how does the Earth hold onto its atmosphere? You're telling me no professional physicist could answer that question? What's happened is he's emailed a load of people, if he's even telling the truth, who've looked at his email and gone, God, this guy's an absolute fruitcake. Yeah. They've ignored him, and then he's claimed some kind of victory.
It's just bizarre. So Nick B in the side chat is saying, let me prove you wrong. Prove me wrong about what, Nick B? Prove me wrong about what?
Because Nick B, if you are a flat earther, you are welcome onto the stream, and we do civil debates on this channel. We don't shout over each other. We don't scream. There's none of that. Absolutely none of that at all. So just post in the chat. If you want to come in, we'll have a chat. No problem whatsoever, and it'll be really nice and civil. I've got some resources. I've sent Creaky, some visuals. Come in and say what I say, and you'll be treated with utter respect.
Michael Raptor saying he wants to prove me wrong about Monty Python. I can't help it that I don't find Monty Python funny.
Oh, I recognise it.
He's saying, oh yeah, I won't scream, but I would love to come in.
Yeah, just email. I'm putting the email in the chat.
But I'm still interested to see what he wants to prove me wrong about.
Nick, but I recognise the name, though. I don't think he's a flat earther, is he?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not a name I recognise, I'll be honest.
Gary Lowe says we have another patron. Let me have a look, and we will look at that. Oh, and we've also got, I should be keeping an eye on this. Luke, if you're there, I have got your email. We'll see what people come in with. I probably left that a bit late now. Right, I've got the email open, so I'm just waiting for you, Nick.
Yeah, he's still asking what he does. Catz has just shared the email in the side chat, Nick B. You need to email agree to disagree debates at gmail.com, and Catz will reply with a link.
Yeah. All right, Luke is still there. I have got your email. Thank you as well. So we'll ask Nick when he comes in whether he wants to take me on, or Luke, who debated the magician a couple of weeks ago. If you want to come and have a chat with him, we'll see what Nick says. Oh, Round Thinker also is willing to debate any flat earther or young Earth creationist. We'll see what Nick says, and then Luke was first. We'll give Luke the option if he doesn't want to debate me. and then round thinker, whatever. We'll just see what Nick wants. We'll be nice.
Yeah, because
and,
if he's coming in to try and debate me, he's going to be very disappointed.
Let's have a look.
I just sent you a message on WhatsApp, Catz, right?
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, no problem. So, right. So let's just have another look in the chat. See if there's any questions kicking about. No, I can't see any. Right. So this is the bit where we see when Creaky goes off for a wee that I lack any sort of personality whatsoever because I don't know what to say when I'm speaking to the camera. But hopefully Nick will drop us an email in a minute. Let's have a look. Yeah, Kat says you're waiting on Nick and it sounded... Yeah, so Nick, honestly, all you have to do is send me an email and I will email you the link to the Zoom call and then you click on it and we let you in. And that's it. We just have a chat if you want in. Not a problem. Crafty Keeler, how are you doing, Crafty? If you're not subscribed to Crafty Keeler, it's a fantastic channel. If you go and look at hers, she looks at the psychological aspect of all conspiracy theories and why people kind of fall into thinking that way. It's a really fascinating viewpoint. I think it's the only channel in the community that kind of takes that slant on it. Sir Sick has posted. Apparently he's got a new video out, and Sir Sick's videos are always worth the watch. So we'll give that a shout out. And Math Pig as well is also in the side chat. If you've not been on Math Pig channel, then I have. I went on there and had a discussion with him. And he was hilarious. It was great fun to talk to. So if you go onto his channel, I know he's had Mark Sargent on as well, which was a good conversation. And in fact, if I'm wrong, Mark Sargent rage quit in a very pleasant conversation when they were talking about the pressure inside the ISS. So we'll see. Right, I'm going to check the emails, see if Nick has emailed. No, Nick's not emailed. No pressure, no worry, Nick. You don't have to. Let's just see if he's still in the chat or if he's gone.
Sir Sick is asking why we haven't watched his video yet. It's not as if we're busy live streaming or anything.
Yeah,
I usually watch Sir Sick's videos in the morning while I'm having my cup of coffee. So rest assured, it will get watched.
Yeah. I usually watch them when I'm driving. I just put the iPad, glue it to the windscreen, and it's a very straight road to work, so yeah. Don't go too fast or too slow. And if you feel the bump, maybe it's time to slow down a bit. Yeah.
Don't talk to me about driving after what I had to endure for 2 hours yesterday.
God, those speed burners courses. They are boring. But you know what? The first one I did, because obviously it was so good, I went to another. It was miles better. We all went, and there were 3 of us, and we all went with one of the instructors each, and they took us on a car around some really lovely country roads, and they talked to, all the things they talked to you about, the signposts and the equal spacing, and that they repeat over and over and over.
Yeah.
They allowed us to drive, and when they did the observation little task with you, you were the driver, and they collected questions and asked you, and it were great, yeah. They were useful, but they are just ridiculously boring.
Yeah, and obviously because of the situation we're coming out of the tail end of now, I had to do it via Zoom, so it was just too long. All they basically needed, and at the end of the day, I clearly didn't need to do a speed awareness course. I'm more than aware of how to speed, so it was just completely pointless. But I will say, all jokes aside, there were certain parts of it that I actually found interesting. Like, for example, when they talked about the difference that just 1 mile per hour can make, and it adds, I think it was an extra 8 foot onto your stopping distance. I was actually surprised about that.
Well, we teach that a lot in schools when we're teaching sort of like the importance, road safety and stuff like that in science, because obviously, we look at like kinetic energy. In the kinetic energy equation, the velocity is squared, which means if you're traveling twice as fast, you have 4 times as much energy. So even a small increase in speed gives the car much more energy, kinetic energy that the brakes have got to do work against. And it's quite an interesting topic.
Yeah, they mentioned kinetic energy on the the training course itself, but I didn't know what they were talking about. I was buying stuff on Amazon. I was
But that's at least you didn't have to sit in the hall, because when I were there and we had to sit in the hall, I've somehow minimised the call. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's
now.
all right. It's gone to dual view now, so it's better for the stream anyway because we're both on screen.
Right. I think Nick should be clicking a link, and I should be trying to let him in. So, Nick, if you're listening still, hang on. I'm just technically inept. That's the problem. I will get to you in a second. Because I am hosting now, aren't I? Somehow.
You are. It's
How
all
do I
on
make
you.
Zoom big? Oh, that's it. There's the big button there. Participants 3. Let's have a look.
Yeah, you're right enough, Chris
now,
Shapley. It
Creaky.
is nice to have a refresher course, but sadly, I've been driving 30 years and I haven't had any issues with speeding for a long time, almost the entire time I've been driving. So I did that speed awareness course yesterday, but 11 days after that offence, I got caught for speeding again. So I've gone from no speeding offences to 2 in 11 days. And according to the instructor on the course yesterday, I will be getting points on a fine anyway. So,
well, I had exactly the same. Actually, I got caught twice in a short spell, and I did my speed awareness course just after I got the letter for the second. And I asked them the same, and they were like, "No, you've been busted. Sorry, mate."
Yeah, same as me.
We've got Nick here. You obviously you can see that. Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Hiya, Nick.
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Listen, thanks for coming on. So just introduce yourself to everybody, and take time to get used to being on the stream. Millions of people are watching, Nick. Millions of people. So get used to it. Off you go, mate.
My name's Nick. I've been a flat earther since I was born, and I'm from around the Philly area. So
a flat earther since you were born. Does that mean what you like? Your parents are flat earthers and have.
Yeah, we have a whole generation of flat earthers.
And is that based on religious beliefs then? Is it a religious thing that your family a bit, or your family more on the scientific side of it, the conspiracy side of it?
We're all Christian.
So it's, can I ask you, you a young earth creationist as well?
What?
Are you a young earth creationist as well?
Well, I'm 14.
So no, when I said young, I didn't mean like a creationist in terms of anti-evolution, etc.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nick, I've just got to ask, right? Please don't feel like I'm patronising you on this.
Yeah.
Because you are so young, right? Do your parents know that you are on this call? I know that sounds horrendous, but
no, yeah, they don't care. Yeah, they know.
They're happy with that, right? We'll keep this ultra friendly and keep our language completely clean.
Oh yeah. They don't really give a shit. Like if I curse, they don't care at all.
Okay, well I will not curse. Creek, are we okay with?
Yeah, that's fine. So what is it you think you want to prove me wrong about, Nick?
I mean, the Earth is flat. There's really no denying.
Okay.
Proof, evidence.
Proof, evidence. I mean, do we really need it? Do you really trust the government 100% with everything?
The government doesn't provide all the evidence that proves to us that the Earth is flat.
Penis.
Just kick him, Catz.
Yeah.
He's a
all
child.
Right, bye, Nick. He's gone. So
I had a funny feeling when I saw he was a child, it was going to go that way.
Yeah, but to be fair, the argument he gave was way better than the argument I heard anybody give on the Nathan Oakley stream yesterday.
Yeah, yelling penis is about as structured as any flat earthers arguments get. So well done, Nick.
It was a 2-syllable word, not a 1-syllable word. And he managed to remember it to repeat it a few times.
I know, so, 3 I think it was.
That was very fair play to him.
I'm a bit upset actually, because usually the penis jokes are my area of expertise and he stole my thunder.
I can't actually be mad at the kid because when I was younger, you know what's now Talk Sport Radio used to just be Talk Radio.
Yeah.
And anyway, they used to have all. When I was in sixth form, so I was like 18 years old. I was 4 years older than him. We had a phone box. Anyone who's like our age will remember you had phone boxes on the street.
Yeah.
And when it was my free period, instead of studying, I would go to the phone box and I would phone up Talk Radio and try and get on and pretend to be an old man. and just say the most stupid things I could possibly say.
Yeah.
So,
what do you mean, Sir Sick? What do you mean? No wonder everybody thinks you copy me. My helmet is nowhere near as shiny as yours. How very rude. I'm inspired by you. There's a difference.
Oh man,
that's my position, and I'm sticking to it.
I just think he could have made that funnier. Penis was funny, but he could have made it funnier.
He could have.
You know what I mean? He could have rolled it out a little bit more, but he's young, he's learning.
What, his penis?
I don't want to talk about that.
I haven't been able to roll mine out for many years.
Oh, dear me.
This is going downhill really quickly.
I don't know. I think the chat seems to liven up.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, Christopher Shapley said that was the most compelling flat earth argument he's ever heard.
Exactly.
So, oh my.
That was actually very funny, and we fell for it like a pair of plonkers.
It was fun. Like I said, I've done the same when I was older, which makes it worse. Call of the Void says, guilty of radio pranks as well. Back when you could use recorded tones in old boxes instead of coins. Yeah, I remember that. That was
now,
great.
what I want to see, Catz, off the back of Nick, is I want to see you on a Flat Earthers channel ask a similar question and then just scream penis at them and see if they find it as funny as we did.
Well, I tell you what I was planning on doing next week, right? And I don't know if anyone remembers the Channel 4 show where they had some guy, and every week he would do as many phone-ins he can on live TV to go on live TV and troll the people. And he would tell them he was going to do it, and then the next week he would show everybody what he did, and he still managed to get on. Well, I was going to put a post out because I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to set myself up a nice little Discord. I'm going to put a silly little voice on, and the Flat Earthers can know this is coming, and we'll see how many spot. And I'm going to make a video about how many Flat Earth streams I managed to get on and troll. I will not shout penis, but
did you fart then, or have you got a squeaky chair?
It's probably a little bit of both. I've definitely got a squeaky chair, but I am prone to the little.
What you need is a posh microphone like me, because I can fart as often as I want, and the mic doesn't pick it up. I'll have to teach you how to put a sound gate on your microphone.
Or stick a cork in it. One of the two.
So if I see you inflate during a live stream in future, I'll know why.
It'll come out my ears. Oh man.
Oh dear me. Somebody in the side chat, give us something useful to talk about.
No, but farts are funny. I don't know whether we said this last week. You know, when I'm oh, thank you, Morton, very much. DKK. Is that the channel, Deke? Oh no, that's the
Dutch Corona, I think it is. I always balls it up every time he super chats me. I should pay more attention than I do, clearly, but I don't. So
thank you very much, Morton. Google moderator team says I'm a young Earth believer. I don't know what to expect if we get someone else in. But
right now, Google Earth, jeez, Google moderator team, where were you when somebody just crashed our live stream and screamed penis into his camera? We needed you 5 minutes ago, Google moderator team. You're no bloody use.
It was like saying I've had another email. He was funny. I'll give him that. Let me just...
Okay, Radical, if it's not Dutch Corona, is it Donkey Kong Cash? DKK? Oh, there we are. Team Skeptic just said Donkey Kong dollars. I don't know what it is, but thank you anyway. It is appreciated.
I've just lost the email. I'm going to have to carry it without me for 10 seconds while I get these emails up, Creaky.
Yeah, I will. I'll give them a song or something.
I've done
no, we want people to stay, don't we? Not leave.
Well, somebody did put a post in the chat before saying, "Will you say something in the Conspiracy Catz voice?" The
comment reading voice.
Somebody asked. They said they super chat you $5 million.
Super chat me $5 million.
Apparently.
Show me the money. Then I'll say anything you want me to.
Right, now I've lost the stream. This is just, what am I doing? Right, here we go.
It doesn't matter.
Anyone who's joining now wonder what the hell's going on.
Yeah, probably.
But if you do want to know what's going on, because we've mentioned it a couple of times, just post a question in the chat, tag us in. Talk about, right, now this is it, Barack Hussein Obama. I've got a feeling, now we did do a stream on psychics and mediums a couple of weeks ago. but I've got a psychic feeling that that is possibly not the real Barack Obama.
Oh,
Possibly not.
burst in my bubble. I was getting really excited.
I'm going to answer his question in a second, though, or at least reply to it. But Matt Watts, thank you very much. He says penis. So
you know what that started now, don't you? Every single debate, somebody is going to comment that.
I think it should be a new thing. You know, I might even take that clip and put it in the next Conspiracy Cats video.
Do you know we are going to have penis t-shirts made now? Like, I've got Tidy became a thing on my channel by accident. I think, sadly, Agree to Disagree is the penis channel.
Definitely.
I'm sure the flat earthers will lap it up. Not the penis, obviously, unless they want to, but yeah.
Well, Barack Obama asks us, which is something I thought I'd never be saying, can we talk about anti-natalism? Now, I'm not even sure I pronounced that right, because this draft science guy is an anti-natalist or whatever. Have you even heard of that before, Creaky?
I've got no idea what you're talking about. I thought you'd started speaking French.
Well, I Googled it, and all I know is a Google definition, so I'm not going to be like Perry Mason and pretend that I'm an expert on it. But apparently, it's people that think that it's a crime to reproduce. A Call of the Void, thank you very much. Oh, it's a message for you there to read out, Creaky.
Right, well, in fairness, if a crime to reproduce is directed towards flat earthers, then they may have a point.
Well, agreed. There's a blue super chat from Call of the Void. I think
Call of the Void for Creaky Yodely ODE he.
He did that to me last week. It went on and on.
In my live streams, people just try to get me to pronounce Llanfair, Pwll Gwyngellt, Go Gerich, Windroboth, Llantysilio, Go, because they think I can't. And somebody tried to be really clever last week and put pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicone volcanoconiosis in the side chat as well. Because for some reason, people seem to think I'm not very smart.
I'm pretty impressed with that, mate. I am pretty impressed with that. I heard you say that on the stream with Creaky that you did on the stream on Radicals. You were sensible. Yeah, bloody hell, it's all good. I'm pretty impressed with that.
I only learned to say it because I was fed up of people asking me to say it, and I couldn't. And funnily enough, I learned to say that off a Radio 1 DJ. They were talking about it on Radio 1 one day when I was on my way back from the vape shop, and for some reason, an English person saying it broke it down in such a way that I could follow along, and that's how I learned to say it.
And you did that all in one car journey?
All in one car journey. My shop's miles away. And pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicone volcanoconiosis, I learned from a Professor Green song.
Oh, there we go. What does that second one mean?
It's, COPD. Emphysema.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's basically the medical term for that.
There we go. Oh, Sir Six says, anti-natalists don't think people should breed. He's never heard them saying it's a crime. Well, there we go. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so maybe it's something I might make a video on. I don't know why anyone would think that, but still. Let's have a look what other questions are out there for you. Can you please say happiness without the HAP at the beginning?
Yeah, I can say penis as much as you want me to. Penis, penis, penis. Penis.
Penis. That's yeah,
that's Welsh for Willy.
You know what? In all the time we've been doing this, the one flat earther that actually gets one over on us is
14 years old.
14 years old.
I know. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. But there we are. You live and learn.
You do. A few people in the chat saying bringing Dell's channel up again. Yeah, I honestly think, maybe I'm wrong, but I honestly think he's just hit it temporarily and he's restructuring his channel because he's done it before. But I think it'll do him good to spend a bit of time away. You know what I mean? Because it's taking its toll on him,
I don't watch Dell at all, mainly because his videos are so long. Because I've had people send me links to his videos. Oh, you've got to watch this. Some of the stuff he says, I'd love to see you react to it. And I look at it and it's like 3 hours and 12 minutes. It's like, send us a timestamp or I can't.
Yeah.
It's too much. I can't. I just can't sit through a video that long.
Not when it's no. I'm the same. And I don't. I'll dip in for 2 or 3 minutes, see what he's talking about here and there. But that is literally it, just for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'm gone. Especially with it's obviously just tosh, isn't it, that they're talking. Morton Madsen though asks, do us guys think there are a lot of flat earthers only doing it because there is a claim to fame?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Yeah, Mark Sargent springs to mind.
Yeah.
Eric DeBay, possibly.
Nathan Oakley.
Yeah, but well, I mean, Nathan Oakley very openly admits, he's a YouTuber, and he booted someone on that stream. I was, I don't want to use the word trolling because it makes me sound like that kid. Although I did use the word penis in the chat, so I don't know. Like maybe he was in the chat yesterday, so we do it. But on that stream yesterday, I've forgotten what was the start of that sentence?
What?
I don't know. What was I saying?
I don't know, something about penis.
Oh no, that was it. On the we were talking about are they for claim to fame? Yeah. Somebody in his Discord server had a little bit of a laugh that and just said like, oh, your career is YouTube. In other words, you got a rubbish career. And Nathan took it that seriously. He sort of like booted him and had a right rant about his career and his livelihood being belittled. So Nathan Oakley is 100% doing it for the job, the fame, the YouTube side of it. And there's nothing wrong with being.
No, I was going to say, and that's fine, but if you're gonna sort of want to use YouTube as your main source of income, then at least try. Should I say this or not? At least try and make something of substance, something that people enjoy and find entertaining. And I'm not claiming that that's me, but you know what I'm saying, don't you? How can he complain when he's just making videos going, the Earth is flat? Well, no, it isn't, is it?
He's basically lying. He's to do what he's doing. He's lying to people, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
That's essentially it. There's a big difference between providing entertainment and leading people down a path because you just want to lie for money, and that is the big difference. Jail Truth has a fantastic question there, but I've lost the thing. What was it?
Your thoughts on crisps?
CRISPR. Yeah.
Oh, CRISPR.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about Golden Wonder then. I was going to say, well, they've got the potential to make you fat, but apart from that, I can't see how they've affected evolution. I didn't think cavemen had crisps. But I'll leave you to answer this one. Katz is clearly beyond my remit because there's words and stuff.
I don't know. It's fascinating. So, it's a way of integrating genetic material into the human genome, isn't it? And the long-term effects on that. We talk about that when we teach it at school and the ethics behind it. And it's funnily enough, CRISPR is more spoken about, I believe, in our EPR lessons, which are like religious educational kind of like ethics and stuff like that, than it is in science. So although I'm aware of what CRISPR is, because I'll be honest, I've not really spent a whole lot of time myself kind of evaluating it and thinking about it. So that actually is an excellent suggestion for a video that I think I should go on and have a look at. So I'm sorry if I've given you a pretty uneducated answer there, but it's a fascinating topic. So it's a fascinating question.
I was going to make a video about crisps this week, but I'm back on my ketogenic diet, so I couldn't do it justice, but maybe in a few months. Freddy's Fast Finger says the flat earth harms no one. You're wrong, and you must be a flat earther, because flat earthers are creating the next generation of morons, because everything they say is wrong, because the earth it's a globe. Only an idiot would think it was anything other than that. And like Mr. Pena said earlier on, not all the information comes from the government. There is more than one space agency. Flat earthers grow up. Grown-ups don't make claims like that. Only silly little boys who scream penis on our live stream make silly little claims, but whatever floats your boat.
My response to that is that it does, because if you believe that the earth is flat, you have to automatically believe that obviously the moon landing was fake, which is fine. You have to believe that well, not that's fine, but that's something you have to believe in. You have to believe that the governments are lying to you. You have to believe that astronomers, professional and amateur, are lying to you. You have to believe that seismologists and meteorologists, climatologists, geophysicists, geodesic surveyors, you have to believe that seismologists are lying to you. You've got to believe that basically you've got to believe that we know nothing about the world around us whatsoever. And that has got to make some people so incredibly paranoid. You know, and what I'll say to Freddie Fastfingers is that what we see, and we've talked about this before, is that when you're dealing with a flat earther, the minute that you maybe ask a difficult question or the minute that you say you don't agree with them, what you get back in spades is abuse. Abuse, 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 right? With 80 to 90%. And that's the mindset that flat earth leads you down, you know? And if you're going to open up a YouTube channel and tell everybody lies that the earth is flat, then 20 years down the line, when that person has become obsessed with that and is out of work, you know, or has lost friends and family because he's fallen out with them, because they won't back him up, you know, you tell that person then that flat earth hasn't done their life any harm. Even Ranty Flat Earth, who you know, I've got a lot of time for. He's a nice guy, you know, I'm not going to knock him. But even Ranty Flat Earth last year made it public knowledge that he couldn't get a mortgage because he'd spent that much time taking photographs of things, that his earnings have plummeted because he's self-employed, and he couldn't get the mortgage for the house he was after, you know, because he got that drawn into it. But Freddie,
that makes it really sad then, though, doesn't it? Because, you know, it's affecting his real life and not his online life.
Exactly, and I think it is the real life that gets affected.
And by extension, it's affecting his, I don't know if he's married, but if he is, it's affecting his wife or his husband, you know, I don't know. If he's got children, it'll affect them, and it's a knock-on effect. And the thing is, everything they think they believe is based on a lie. And if once a lie goes beyond one person, then it's going to be exposed. And one lie needs to be covered up with another, then another, then another, then another. And I said this in a video last week, and before you know it, everything you think you know is just based on lies.
Yeah, everything around you, and the paranoia that brings. Some people can shake it off, but I don't think they, you know, perhaps think about it too deeply. But there are some that get absolutely obsessed, and it ruins them. But Freddie, look, post in the chat if you want to come on and just have a chat about it. Again, we treat everyone really simple. We're not Nathan Oakley's channel, right, or Dell's channel where you're going to get screamed at and sworn at and booted and muted. We don't do that, right? We are grown up. So if you want to post in the chat, if you want to come on, we'll have a grown up chat about it. Absolutely no problem. But I think Team Skeptic, thank you, Team Skeptic, posted a comment for you, Creaky.
How do I feel about the recent Pen 15 epidemic? Did that go how you wanted it to, Mr. Septic? Probably not. I'm a little bit nervous about having anyone else join tonight now, because the last thing we need is somebody screaming vagina into their microphone. That would put the tin hat on it for me, or the tin foil hat.
I'll tell you what, if he emails, then we'll set something up for another time.
Team Skeptic wants a refund. So, you know, like he said now about the government, and somebody in the side chat said something about the government as well, and they say, oh, the government is lying to you. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are about certain things. Obviously, we don't know everything that goes on behind closed doors. You know, there's certain things, I think, that we don't get told because we don't need to be told. Possibly if they were to reveal it, it would create mass hysteria. So obviously, you know, it's like if you work in a factory that employs 10,000 people and there's a management team, you don't get told everything that management team knows because they don't need you to know it. It's of no relevance to your life or your job. And if they were to tell you, maybe it would affect how you're able to do your job. So, you know, I don't know what your thoughts are, but obviously the governments have got things going on behind closed doors that we don't know and probably never will.
Oh, of course. And, you know, and you've only got to look, a lot of it's out in the open as well. You've got to look at the, you know, the Brexit. Now, I'm not giving any kind of political stance of where I am or where I'm not, but politicians were caught left, right and centre telling lies about what the effects of staying in and what the effects of leaving would be to get what they wanted. You know, so nobody at all is saying that the government don't keep things from you, don't deliberately lie. Then also you've got national security, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Of course, and the media can be a big part of that as well. Nobody's saying that there isn't corruption in media, etc. But to say that the entirety of science is broken and the greatest minds on the planet at the minute can't figure that out is just daft.
Neil Sullivan is saying, name an example then, Creaky Blinder. An example of what? If it was said more than 3 seconds ago, I will have already forgotten. So if you at me in the side chat again, what do you want me to give an example of? But that's just how I think, Clearly there's things that we aren't privy to, but probably because we're better off not being privy to that information.
It's... But the thing is, flat earthers like to take every little, how can I put it, every little thing and just explode it to its ridiculous, exaggerated state, don't they? So a newspaper printed a headline that's false, so therefore they'll lie about the shape of the earth, that kind of thing. Politician told a lie about something.
Yeah. So Neil Sullivan is saying, an example of causing mass hysteria by what? Well, I don't know, because they're things that we aren't made aware of, but I would hazard a guess and say that the old lager lurgy made a few people nervous, but that was kept from us until the time was right to reveal it to the public for their own benefit and protection.
I was watching a Panorama program on that not so long ago. Neil Ferguson, the guy who led the initial sort of body that advised the government on it, he said that a good 3 weeks before lockdown, they had the numbers that it could be up to 500,000 people if they didn't act. And 3 weeks later, and we didn't hear about that till lockdown began, did we?
No, but they've said something as well now, haven't they? That the figures are slightly exaggerated. Because, for example, and I know this will sound like a conspiracy theory, but I've read it. If it's right, great. If it's wrong, then I'll say at a later date, well, it turns out that was wrong. But apparently, let's say for argument's sake, now you caught the virus today and you were ill for the next week. Then you recovered. Then in 3 weeks' time, I shouldn't have used you as an example. Let's say Nathan Thompson got the virus today and then he was ill for the next week. Then he recovered, and then 2 weeks later, he got killed in a car accident. They would still put the cause of death down as coronavirus. Apparently, that's what I've read. I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but that's what I've seen on sort of news articles and that kind of thing.
Well, different countries have had different ways of report. Some countries have said, if you've been hospitalized with COVID-19 and you die, then they're going to put it down as a COVID-19 related death because the COVID-19 has aggravated whatever you've already had, etc., even if it's not a direct cause. But it's got to be so difficult. It's got to be so difficult to really pin it down. So, but the government are aware of that, and they're adjusting figures, and other countries are doing it in different ways. Some are over-reporting, some are under-reporting. But that, again, is an example where conspiracy theorists take something to the absolute extreme.
And that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. People will take that information that I've just openly said, well, could be true, might not be true. We don't really know yet. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But a conspiracy theorist would latch onto that, and then that's it. The government are evil because they've made up the figures. Instead of looking at it logically and trying to understand what's been said and waiting for more information, they just latch onto it.
Well, and that's it. They latch onto a quote like that very quickly, and like the quote that a mask, the pore size of a mask is way bigger than a virus, so therefore masks don't work. They'll latch onto that and take away. And they won't look. I mean, the video I released this morning that I had to pull, it will be going back up, but it cites quite a few scientific studies where they compare different sizes of masks. They look at the efficiency, and it's even masks that have got a pore size of up to 500 micrometers, which is way bigger than the water droplets we exhale, still can filter out 64 to 83% of those water droplets, but they won't look any further. I've missed a bit of the chat there. I've not really been looking. What have I missed?
Is it Arto? Says Creaky Blinder, the car accident was not caused by the virus. Viruses never kill anyone. It's the other diseases and immune reactions that kill the virus-weakened body. Is it? I don't know. Do I look like a doctor?
I know with the coronavirus that it does cause like an immune response that releases a lot of anti-inflammatories in the body, which is it the interleukins, which then travel around the body and can cause organ failure and stuff. So they do trigger a series of events. I mean, I'm not a virologist, so I can't go through lots of diseases, but if he's talking about COVID-19, then it is the triggered immune response that causes the death. I believe, that's my level of understanding. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
But this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I'm not going to try to answer that question because I don't know, and only a fool would pretend he did. Ask a doctor.
Yeah, Adam L. masks are for protecting others. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see where we are. So 6 says it was caused by Smarties. So I think that's plausible. Very plausible.
I'm convinced.
Oh, dear me. Let's see if anyone has emailed. Let's have a look.
Jim Broughton says, Creaky, that line of thought is a gateway to flat Earth. What line of thought? What line of thought? What line of thought am I having that you say is a gateway to flat Earth?
Right. Oh, here's another one. FE peer review says the NHS publishes a weekly report of all hospital deaths, and it jumped 250% in March and April, and they were not due to car accidents. Exactly. When you're getting that many extra people dying, I think it's a reasonable step to say if you've come into a hospital, hospitalized with coronavirus, and you die while you're in hospital, the vast majority of you are going to have died because of coronavirus-related issues.
Virus underreporting conspiracy. No, I didn't say it was a conspiracy, did I? I said, or did I? I may have. I don't care anyway, but that's not what I meant. Not in the... See, this is the thing, see? The word conspiracy has lost its real meaning because of flat Earth and the mud flood, which I, for a long time, thought was just explosive diarrhea. But it turns out I was wrong. A conspiracy, all that means is if Catz and I were planning to do something on this channel and we told nobody about it, we would be conspiring to do that thing. But now, whenever people hear the word conspiracy, they instantly think anti-vaxxer, flat Earth, COVID conspiracy. That's not what I meant. And you know that's not what I meant.
So, Anon's bobbed in a couple times. Yeah, he's just saying Dell's closed his channel. We're getting a few people saying that, so you must have just missed earlier on. I'm like I say, I'm not so sure. I think he's probably just hidden it again because it won't be the first time he's done it and he's rejigging. We shall see. Maybe I shall be proven wrong, and I hope so, but we shall see.
Why does he take it down to rejig it, though? Does he think people are continuously staring at his channel homepage? I rejig mine all the time. It takes 5 minutes. You don't need to take your channel down.
Yeah, I don't know. But he did once. I remember last year because someone tweeted me and said I was taking his channel down. It wasn't there. Just like today, it just wasn't there. And then it were back the next day and he'd removed a load of videos. So, and he said he'd taken it down for him.
Okay, apologies then, Jim Broughton. If you were joking and I missed it, then try and be funnier so I don't miss it. Sorry, mate.
Let's have a look. That's a good question. Wondering if we have any idea how widespread flat Earth is outside of UK and North America.
Ooh, there's a question now.
Yeah.
I do, so when I'm looking for a flat Earth video, I jump on YouTube, type flat Earth, and then I filter it by most recent, or this month usually. And I am noticing an awful lot of flat Earth videos in... I'm ignorant, so I don't know, but they're Indian people, so I don't know, is it Hindu or whatever it may be, but there's an awful lot of Indian content creators starting to make flat Earth videos.
I think when it gets onto YouTube in a demographic in an area with a certain language, whatever, then it's spreading very quickly, isn't it? And maybe that's what's happening in India.
Yeah.
Now, perhaps, who knows? Yeah, no, it's a good question, that, because I very rarely look at other language videos when I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't. I have enough trouble understanding the ones I do look at, let alone if they're speaking a different language. I'm proper screwed. It's because I haven't got an accent, though, so I don't pick up on the subtle nuances of other people's speech patterns. No,
Well, that's it.
Jim Brufton, whatever your name is, don't apologise again. It was me that didn't get the humour. I've got no excuse really, apart from the fact that I didn't think it was funny.
Robert Caslow hears that Brazil is the mecca of flat Earth. Is that a place where a lot of it come from?
Is where?
Brazil.
I thought I heard you say Mecca. I thought it
was
started in bingo halls.
He's calling Brazil the mecca of flat Earth.
Is it really?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to have a look at that.
Do some research.
I will. Yeah, some high IQ research.
Yeah,
but I've got 3
lots
tabs.
of tabs.
Yeah, all the same ones.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sir Six says, shots fired. Creaky says, be funnier. I was not addressing you, Sir Sick.
You know what's funny? We actually have higher viewership for this stream where someone comes on and shouts penis at us than we've had for some of our debates. So maybe they're expecting Draft Science to turn up and... Yeah.
We should probably have managed people's expectations a little better than we have. Not only did we balls up the first 30 minutes of the stream, but we...
Yeah, we managed to both log ourselves out of our own Zoom account. That's what happened, if people are wondering.
And now we've forgotten the password that we both know, or clearly thought we knew.
So then we started up a Google's Meets to get in, and that didn't work. And then somehow I accidentally logged into the Zoom, but Creaky is normally the guy who does technical stuff, and I was the host. So it were odd, wasn't it? Anon says...
Most peculiar.
Virgin Galactic flying soon, $250,000 for the edge. See, how much would I pay? I would love to go. But how much would I pay to do it? I don't think I would pay vast amounts to do it because the rest of my life not having and the amount of work I would have to do would override that. Would you go on the Virgin Galactic?
Are you serious? I don't like flying to Benidorm. I have to take 2 Valium just to get to Spain.
Well, I
need a horse tranquilizer to get me to the edge of space.
This is what it is. My brother got married abroad a few years ago, and the whole family went on a plane. And I took a train on my own. Well, I took my daughter, actually. We had a little bit of a road trip. Yeah. And they got there in 1 day, and I took 3 days because I wouldn't fly, right? But the chance to see the edge of space... I might risk it for a biscuit.
Yeah. I don't like flying at all. I will happily say I am terrified of flying, right? And I do, whenever we go away, I do go to the doctor, who usually laughs at me and tells me to grow up, and then prescribes me 4 Valium tablets, 2 for on the way out, 2 for on the way back. And I take 2 when they call our flight. I very rarely remember taking off, flying, or landing. So there's just a big blank spot in the middle. But at least it's sunny when I get there. Now, if I was to do that to fly to the edge of space, it wouldn't even be warm when I got there. So what would be the point?
Yeah, well, I think it'd be warm inside the... you wouldn't get out on the edge of space, would you? Or?
Well, oh, right. Wow, shows what I know then, doesn't it?
Maybe
I thought there'd be like a tour or something.
I don't know. Maybe that'd be good. Put some thermal undies on and have a wander around space.
Yeah, I'll have to put on my thermal thong. Do you think if a flat earther ever got the opportunity to go up and look for themselves, they would still be able to spin it to suit their own story?
Oh, they'd be able to spin it. I'm going to answer that. I just want to address a super chat that come addressed to me there from Kevin. Thank you for that, by the way, Kevin. No, it's going. The video is going back up, but it's not up yet. I just needed to have it reviewed by YouTube, and it'll go up no matter what the result of the review is, but probably tomorrow, if not definitely the morning after. What did you just ask me, Creaky?
If a flat earther ever had the opportunity to go up and have a look for themselves, do you think they would still find a way to spin it to suit their own story?
Well, they'd find a way. The windows would be curved, or the windows would be like a TV screen or something. They'd find, if they wanted to spin it, they'd find a way to spin it. They
did something to their eyes, or they were drugged or something silly like that.
Yeah, definitely. Or like, what am I hearing from flat earthers at the minute? it would look round because our eyes are round. It's like,
Yeah.
for God's sake.
Why doesn't my computer screen look round then? Oh, it's because my glasses are square, look, to match the screen. Busted.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Well, oh, bloody hell. Digital denial. One for you here, Creaky. Thank you, Demonic Davos. Digital Demonic Davos. Creaky, he disagrees with you on the fence with cats, but the bald guy is totally... But the bald guy he totally agrees with. Which bald guy?
Yeah, exactly. You can't be talking about me. I'm not bald. I've just got a very high forehead.
Well, I say I can grow it. I did cut it yesterday, but I can grow it. I might do that one month for charity. Just let it grow. See how long it gets.
I said I was going to do that, but I generally don't do most things I say I'm going to do. It's just I overpromise and underdeliver. I'm a terrible human being. What can I say? I've just shared a link to my own video in the side chat as well because I'm shameless and I don't care. And the views aren't what they should be. So please love me, everyone. Yeah,
big shout out. Subscribe to the Creaky Blinder. If you don't know who he is, his channel is well worth subscribing to. Get over there. Apparently got that wrong. He meant Mr. Sensible. That's who he meant on the thing.
Right.
And I did see one.
Well, then.
I forget who it was. Justin Weber, yeah. Apparently on Ranty's stream, that conversation's already happened and some guy convinced them that they all wouldn't know that it wasn't a TV screen on the windows.
This is what I mean, see, it just becomes ridiculous, doesn't it? Because, fisheye lens, and that's one of the go-tos, isn't it? And when somebody showed footage of a fighter jet flying close to the edge, just went, sorry, mate, I'm boring you, am I? Or...
No, not at all, mate. No.
And there was a fight, you must have seen the video of it. I think it's James May from Top Gear got taken up in a fighter jet, and you could clearly see the curve. But that was because the glass in the cockpit of the fighter jet was I said pit was curved. So I think it doesn't matter to them whatever. This is the thing, see, and this is why I like it when people say to them, well, what evidence will you accept? And their honest answer should be, well, none, because that would spoil our fun, and then we wouldn't be able to claim the Earth is flat anymore.
But exactly. They won't accept pictures. They won't accept scientific peer-reviewed papers. They won't accept anything.
Yeah. So they basically won't accept all the things that actually do demonstrate that the Earth is, in fact, a globe.
I mean, they'll say to me, show me measurable curvature of the Earth, and then I'll say, well, look, I've said this a few times now, I'll give you a basketball. You tell me how you measure the curvature on the basketball. I think I said this to Spurs last week. And then we'll discuss, measuring the curvature of the Earth. And down to a T, not one of them can say how you'd measure the curvature or calculate the curvature of a basketball.
Yeah.
Stringer News has dropped one there.
The thing is, flat Earth has proved the old saying about, learning, like they say kids in school, they learn their times table parrot fashion. And they kind of do.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's exactly what flat earthers do. They just parrot in things that they've heard other equally stupid flat earthers say.
Yeah, they are. That's it. And you hear them like using the term, "Oh, I'm going to add this to my toolbox or sharpen my tools or whatever." When they're talking about it, and what they mean is like, I'm going to take that little statement when someone asks me this, and I'm going to use it. Yeah. I'm not going to bother understanding what it means. But I'm just going to have that statement ready.
Yeah.
It violates the, second law of thermodynamics. And then they get it wrong, I
like that when you were debating Nathan Thompson and he was banging on about the second law of thermodynamics. And you said, what is the second law of thermodynamics? Yeah, but that wasn't my question, Catz. It's like, shut your pie hole.
But it was like that. Like he says, he came in. I knew he was going to come in and say that. And said the second law of thermodynamics violates the atmosphere. So all I had to do was ask him what it was. Like same with Nathan Oakley. He was banging on about diffraction limit. And so all you've got to do is ask him what diffraction is, and they haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
Stringer News has dropped a super chat. Stringer News 1.
Oh, right, okay.
Pen is mightier than the sword. But is that a quote? Like, it says the pen is mightier than the sword. Was that written by somebody called Dick Hertz? Or is he telling us something? Like, get to A&E. It shouldn't be hurting. Get to A&E.
I think the moral of that story is don't carry a biro in your pocket, because if it goes in the wrong direction, well, yes, your dick would hurt.
Absolutely. Oh, dear me. There's been a lot of penis talk tonight on the show.
It has, isn't it? It's been very homoerotic, to use a polite term.
Yeah. We've been trolled ridiculous. Oh, God, another one.
We have.
Digital demonic. Did not. Joe, can you read that one out?
Digital demonic Davros.
Yeah.
Was that the remix, Catz?
It was, yeah. I'm losing it. The SR-71 is the atmosphere curve evidence finder, and the ISS is nil. Absolutely. Did we watch the Flurf Dragon Crew reaction? It's a balloon. Yeah, I put that in a video. Did you see that, Creaky, when they reacted to the SpaceX launch?
Who?
There were loads. There was Mark Sargent.
Oh, the flat earthers reacted to it. I saw a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw a couple of them. It's all nonsense, like everything else they say, isn't it?
Well, you had there was one stream where you had 5 on the stream at the same time watching it live. So there's Mark Sargent, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, Karen B, some woman I've never heard of before, Jeranism. And it was absolutely unbelievable. Like, it took off, and the very first thing Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole said was, "Oh, it's a balloon," and then they started laughing. Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, when he saw some the metal, whatever the metallic looking material is on the side of the rocket, he said, "Why is that tinfoil not exploding in space?"
Yeah.
Like, what is he on about?
The thing is that's one thing that really bugs me about flat earthers, is when they laugh at a piece of information. It's like,
yeah,
what are you laughing at? You claim the Earth is flat. Yeah. Now that's funny.
Like, they laugh as if they understand it. Like when they say something and we laugh, it's because we understand why it's done. They're laughing in complete ignorance.
Well, you may, but I can laugh on cue. Like that. Doesn't mean I understood anything that's been said to me. I just make it up or send you a message on WhatsApp to make sure my laugh is valid.
It was good.
Should I laugh at this? Is it funny? Yeah, fire away.
Helping me out at the beginning of the stream after I was muted, where I had to tell the joke twice. You pulled it. It was a good one. Then you pulled it off well.
I'm semi-professional. Semi-professional.
Thank you, Glyn Griffiths. Thank you very much.
Oh no, that's a Welsh name if ever I've heard it. Heard one. Have a fiver, cause. We shorten lots of words in Wales. Why say because when you can just say cause?
Yeah, we say cause a lot.
Yeah.
So
I think we're just naturally lazy people. I don't mean you and I mean in general. People are will take shortcuts wherever they can.
Oh, definitely. Well, some people might say that's intelligent energy conservation.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's a time saver. Because I only said half the word because. I've got plenty of time to say other words. None of them will make any sense, but I'm saying them anyway. Much like I've done for most of this live stream.
Oh God! I was up very early. I've had a day in the garden working hard today. I think I've shattered myself. Not shat on myself, shattered myself.
I was going to say then there is such a thing as oversharing, and I thought I could smell something, but
I shattered myself. Oh dear me.
Radwin Hoffy Coffee. Do you really anon? Has anybody else seen the Ali G clip of him trying to learn Welsh? Just Google Ali G speaks Welsh. It is the funniest thing you will ever see in your life, assuming you find Welsh humour as funny as I do. But maybe
Ali G was brilliant.
He was absolutely fun. Such a clever. Sacha Baron Cohen is a very, very clever actor. And I can't remember the exact statistic. My son would know it off the top of his head, but he's the only actor to have had his life threatened on location in 10 different countries.
Is that when he's doing his Borat?
Borat, yeah.
When he did the national anthem in the rodeo stage, I just couldn't. It was amazing.
I don't know how he gets away with it, because there was something going on a little while back, wasn't there, where a lot of things were being taken down off Netflix. It was all off the back of the BLM movement, and that's fine, that's fair enough. So I was working in the vape shop on Saturday, and I watch a film while I'm at work or whatever out the back, And I thought, Ali G's on Netflix. I'll have a watch of it. I haven't seen it for bloody years. And I was watching it, and you know, some of the things he was saying, I think, why wasn't this taken down?
You know, I actually only watched that a few weeks ago, the Borat thing and loads of Ali G, and yeah, he did say some stuff that was pretty close to the line. But like, I'm of the school of thought that whether it be right or wrong, it was in a time when it was deemed acceptable, you know. And although there were things that we wouldn't say now, it wasn't a time that was deemed acceptable. It's exactly. Kind of like a memory of the culture of the. I don't know. It's difficult.
Yeah, and things change, don't they? And unfortunately, we live in sort of offense culture, and it's as if people are going out of their way to look for things to be offended by. Like, I'm finding myself being more and more cautious about what I say in my videos than I ever have.
Yeah. That was my wife the other day. She got, I called her a dirty slapper, and she hit the. No kidding. Oh, Glyn Griffiths, another one. He says he's from London originally, but now in Nottingham. So I wonder if he's got any Welsh ancestry, though, maybe.
Yeah, quite possibly. Because Glyn Griffiths is definitely a Welsh name. It's the Welshest Welsh name I've used since. I don't know. Creaky Blinder's not very Welsh. I nearly said my real name, man. That would have been a boo-boo, wouldn't it? And my real name isn't very Welsh anyway, is it?
I'm just trying to think. Now you've put your real name in my head. It's going to be really hard for me.
Yeah, I know.
I will keep thinking about whatever you do, don't say.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
So. Creaky Blinder.
Sir Sick is offering us an update on Viewermageddon. Video hit an hour and had 1,500 views. I don't know if that means things are getting better because shout-outs helped. Hopefully views improve for you too. Well, I personally don't care how many views you two are getting because they are a crap band. But I'd like to think my views are going to improve.
I hope so. We shall see. We shall. They deserve to, mate. We shall see what the algorithm brings. But like you said, it's interesting that over time they are evening out on the whole.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm just looking at 3,200 views in 3 hours. So it's about 1,000 an hour. Which so maybe it is starting to fix itself.
I had one I premiered a couple of weeks ago. It was not the one I've released recently, but the one before that. And it had a great first day because it was premiered, and then it just died. You know when videos just stop getting views?
Yeah.
It hit 27,000, and it just stopped. And it picked up maybe 1,000 in the next 3 days, and then suddenly got kicked up again and caught right back up. So I think it's on about 50 odd now, and it's right where it should be compared to that. So it's odd. They're definitely trying testing something.
Yeah, but like I say, it was Fight the Flat Earth who gave me that information, so. It's come from a reliable source, but I obviously I don't know how he came upon that information. So, but it makes sense. It makes sense.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I'm fading. Well, it's been an interesting. Oh God, Glyn's back again.
Glyn Fiver Griffiths.
Yes.
His middle name's actually David. That's definitely Welsh. Got to be. I don't care that you're from London. Irrelevant. And the fact that you live in Nottingham now, irrelevant. You're Welsh, whether you like it or not. Or your parents were.
Thank you, Glyn.
Or you're adopted. Or were adopted by a Welsh family. Or abandoned by a Welsh family because you've got a Welsh name and you don't live in Wales. One of the two.
What I've got here in front of me, Creaky, is a bunch of exam questions on surds that I need to work through. Because I'm teaching surds and rationalising surds in the morning. So I'm not going to have too much long before I'm going to have to go off and have a good surd.
It's 9:05 and I'm getting sweaty by the minute and I smell a bit like a Greg's pasty. So maybe it's penis o'clock and we should call it a day.
We should. Well, thank you everyone for dropping by. And I'm sorry we couldn't put a debate on for you. But we will be back next week and 99% sure it will be the Rumpus himself. If you're familiar with the Rumpus, he'll be taking the hot seat. So should be interesting.
Thank you to everybody that's super chatted. It is hugely appreciated. Catz agrees with me, and if he doesn't, he's a terrible person. But
No,
I know he does.
I do. I'm hoping that we've kept on top of them. Is now it's going to have.
I'm scanning through them now before we sign off, and I'm pretty confident that we've addressed everyone except the one that Call of the Void just put up. Super chatting for a serious question. Why hasn't Simon Dan been on Agree to Disagree yet? I think it's because he hates me.
Well, I don't. Well, he's always more than welcome, and I'm sure he will come on. I think the thing is we've not invited him, which I know that sounds right, but we haven't actually reached out and said, "Do you want to come on for a chat?" Because I know he doesn't do a lot of debate, and I think he will debate at some point, but he hasn't done any yet. So we've not invited him on to debate, but maybe we should just invite him on for a chat. Yeah. I'm sure he'd do it. He's a great guy.
People, it depends who they're going to be debating and what they're going to be debating, doesn't it? And maybe Dan would approach us if somebody approached him that he thought was worth having the conversation with. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure at some point he will appear on here. Absolutely. That reminds me of a question somebody else wrote about his physics videos and what do we think of them. I have been watching them, and I think they're great. I think for people having a refresher on the GCSE physics, and I know they're going to get more and more complicated as we go. I think it's a great course. I think he's planned the route through the topic very, very well. Like if I was planning a curriculum at school, I'd do a very, very similar route through the physics topic. So I'm really enjoying them. I think they're a dead useful resource for people out there wanting to get back into the physics. Have you been watching Creaky? Or?
I watched the first one and fully intended watching them all, but EastEnders was on or something like that. But no, it all jokes aside, it is something I want to watch because, and I said this to Dan, just so that I don't have to send you so many messages on WhatsApp.
I'm just going to say hi to Ranty, who's in the chat. I've asked him a couple of times if he knows anyone to come on here or etc. So I just want to acknowledge the fact he's come in, and thanks for coming in, Ranty. This is so like when I message you in future, this is our platform, and it's sort of dead chilled, it's dead laid back. The guy who we were supposed to be debating tonight, it didn't go ahead, and I'll tell you why in private. But yeah, this is the channel. So keep an eye on it. Dead friendly, dead laid back. Me and Creaky are always nice, aren't we?
I'm always nice. Nice is my middle name, and that's all I'm going to reveal about my middle name. About any of my names, in fact. That was a stupid thing to say, wasn't it?
Although we did have a kid come on earlier on and shout penis at us, didn't we?
Yeah, that was the highlight of the stream, I dare say, for everybody watching.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, we shall be seeing the Rumpus on next week. But Ranty, if you know anybody that wants to come on debate, if you want to come on and have a chat, it's dead laid back. We don't talk over each other. Check out the way the debates have been. He'll consider giving us a lesson sometimes, so we'll look forward to it. But it's dead chilled. We'll guarantee you 50% of the speaking time, if that means having a timer or a clock or just agreeing not to talk over each other, we'll do that. Like, we're just having a laugh. So, but good to see you here. Sorry, I'm just talking to Ranty there, Creaky. I forgot you were around.
Yes, people generally do. I'm so quiet and unassuming. I'm like a little wallflower on the edge of the stream.
It's like when you go to a pub with a mate and then a better mate walks in through the door and then you forget. Yeah. I'm kidding. But yeah. So
hang on, I just understood that. Charming. I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, dear me. I am kidding. Right. Well, yeah. Also, Ranty, we usually finish at 9, so you've just caught the end. We are about to go, I'm afraid. Well,
this video is definitely not being monetized, is it, Catz?
It's not. We may as well just say whatever we want now.
Well, I think penis isn't cursing, is it? It's the correct term for the schlong.
Yeah, for King Dong.
Yeah, for the love muscle.
We could go on. But,
yeah, exactly. This is really deteriorating quickly, and I'm sweating like a fat bird at a barbecue. So if you were happy to call it done, my glasses are starting to steam up. See, that's when I know it's time to finish the live stream.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go. And well, goodbye to everybody then. And
Come.
yeah, and thank you to Draft Science for not being on this channel. Yeah, thank you for not being on this channel and ruining our reputation with your ridiculous ideas. And Jail Truth in the chat, and I am gonna. I've not released that video yet, but I will be in contact with you soon, sure. Right.
We done?
I think we're done. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Are we done, everybody? We're going anyway, because we can. Bye!
See ya.